Hey guys, it's Reese, and today we're going to discuss the topic of getting mentally prepared for this new school year. Now, you can be as prepared as you are with your school supplies and your clothes and your textbooks and whatnot, but the real challenge is getting mentally prepared for another year of hell. Okay, some of you might like school, some of you might absolutely love school, and I typically do like school, but there's always, school things that come along with it. So I feel like we should probably discuss how to get your mind ready, your soul ready to go through another school year, because even if you do enjoy it, it probably is going to come with hard work and you need to be prepared for that. So I guess we're going to get started. The first thing you have to do is accept that it's happening. Whether or not you like school, whether or not school is the best thing for you to go back to or the worst thing, you just have to accept that it's happening and that it's a part of life. Like I said, I typically like school. I really enjoy learning and I like having a daily routine and just going to classes and stuff, but it comes with the stress of doing work and projects and things like that. But you just have to remember that everyone goes through it. It's a part of life. You've made it through the years before, so it's just something you gotta do. Even if you do dislike it, you just have to know that it's a privilege to go to school and to learn things. I know you don't want to hear that, but it really is. There's a lot of people that aren't exposed to education, so even if you do hate it, at least you're gonna graduate with a high school diploma or a college degree, so that's a bonus. Number 2 is to remember that you've made it through before every other year up to now. I've had some rough patches in my school years, but I made it through. You've made it through every other year till now, whatever grade you're in. If you're a senior, that is amazing. You're now moving on to college, you're moving on to another 4 years, unfortunately, but they're good years, I promise. If you're in middle school or just going into high school, that's okay. You still have a few years ahead, but you've also made it through every other year before, and so has all the other people before you. So we're trying to look at this in a positive mindset. I know it might sound cheesy and you might not want to hear it, but I'm just trying to expose you to this because we gotta do it. Number 3 is to set some personal goals for yourself. Now, the school year can be very long and daunting and just feel like it drags on forever, but if you create some personal goals that maybe aren't school related, even if they are, but just something to look forward to and to put your energy into rather just than feeling like you're slaving away at school, find something that is motivating enough for you to get that weight off your shoulders and for you to work towards and be proud to complete the goal. So if it is a school-related goal, maybe you want to get all A's this year, which is an amazing goal, fantastic. Keep that in the back of your mind the entire school year, so whenever you're feeling down or you're feeling just really unmotivated, bring that goal back in mind and be like, you know what, I set this goal for myself. Even though I don't feel like studying right now, I'm gonna do it anyway because I want those good grades in the end. Or you can set a goal that is totally unrelated to school, whether it be like you want to do really good in a sport, or you want to, grow your social media following, if you're maybe like starting up YouTuber or something, you want to create some really good art, whatever it is, set goals for yourself throughout the school year that will motivate you to keep going, because believe me, you're gonna need that motivation. Number 4 is kind of similar, but plan something to look forward to. Now, the school year, once again, can be very time consuming, especially if you're taking a lot of hard classes or whatever, but every week or at least once a month, I like to set some sort of non-school activity to look forward to. So that can be hanging out with your friends, that can be going to the mall, it could be going to a yoga class, it can be whatever. Just set something. I would recommend at least once a week, so you can make it through each week, that is totally non-school related and that you can look forward to and you really enjoy doing. Don't worry about doing your homework in that time. Don't worry about having to study. You have that time allotted for whatever that event is, because it's going to make you feel better and it's going to help you relieve that stress. Number 5 is a hard one, especially for me, but it's to try to get back to a regular sleeping schedule. If you follow me at all on social media, I don't sleep. I have terrible insomnia, or sometimes I have hypersomnia where I just sleep for like days at a time. But getting back to a sleep schedule will really help get your mind more focused and ready for the school year, especially during the summer. You've probably been staying up super late, sleeping in super late, so you want to start at least 2 weeks before training your body to get back to that sleep schedule, so when you get back to school, you're not bombarded with like a horrible sleeping schedule and no hours of sleep and you're just exhausted all the time. So I know it sucks to like force yourself to wake up early in the summer, but do yourself the favor and just start getting back on a sleep schedule. Number 6 is to get familiar with the school, especially if you're going into a new school. So maybe you're transitioning from like middle school to high school or high school to college. You want to get familiar with the school, basically meaning the actual layout, like where your classes are, how the school is set up, how to get around it, but also get familiar with your schedule, your teachers, the people that are going to be in your class. So you want to get as comfortable as possible before you go into actual classes so that you aren't super anxious or nervous when they do start. So for me, I know my school lets us go in a few days before the classes start just to walk around your schedule and get used to like the pattern of how you're going to walk to each class, where each of them are, how far they are from each other. You also want to reach out to your friends to see if they're in any of your classes, because that's always a bonus. And if not, see if there's some like acquaintances or other people that you know, maybe you're not friends with, that you can maybe create a friendship with in that class. Just get yourself as comfortable as possible so you don't go in and feel completely blindsided and overwhelmed. Number 7 is to know your stressors and how to handle them. Now, for me, I get stressed quite easily, especially when I feel like I have a million tasks and not enough time. So I know that's a thing for me, and I've learned over the years just to time manage better, and when I have a super long to-do list, just to like pick the priorities of things that absolutely need to get done, because sometimes I put too much on myself and it's not all super important. Like, I can wait for it. So figure out what your stressors are. Maybe you get stressed if you have like too much homework, or if you have like a sport and homework and whatever. I'm not sure, but figure out what your stressors are, or if you find that you are getting stressed during the school year, kind of take a step back, look at the situation and see how you can handle it. This way you're prepared again if it happens. And number 8 is kind of similar concept. It's to look back on the previous years to see what worked and what didn't. So let's say, for example, you have a lot of clubs, you're involved in a lot of activities, but last year it started to feel like a lot of stress. Maybe this year you just have to knock one off and relieve that one responsibility so you have more time for relaxation and you're not super stressed all the time. Or maybe last year you started going to those after-school study groups and you realized that you did better on your tests. Why stop doing them? Keep doing them this year if they're only going to help you. Once again, I want to remind you that you made it through every other year up to now, and no matter how many years you have to go, it's just a thing that we have to do in life, and everyone makes it through. So you just have to remember that school, even though it might suck, even though you might love it, is kind of a privilege to have. And I know, once again, that sounds super cheesy, but that's what keeps me going, because right now I'm in college, and yes, college can be super hard, but I'm lucky that I get to go to college, even though I'm going to be in a lot of debt, but I'm lucky I can at least have the opportunity to go. So it's kind of just about keeping that positive mindset. I know it might be hard when you're having a mental breakdown in the middle of the school year because you have 5 tests tomorrow, but maybe you can come back and reference this video for help. Alright, so that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If this helped at all, or if you feel any sort of relief, definitely make sure to give this video a thumbs up. And if you have any other tips or advice for people, definitely make sure to leave them down below, because we're always trying to help each other out. Otherwise, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you have a wonderful day or night wherever you are.